Hello everybody, how are you? How are you doing, my learners? I am Murad Sultan, this video your math teacher. Today we will, let's say, record your lecture of mathematics that dealing with curved graphs, okay? Either the curved or the graphs of quadratic equation or function or hyperbola or parabola or whatever be, let's say, the function. So, سماها bilingual school. سماها bilingual school, okay. Okay. سماها bilingual school, Department of Math. Curved graph is the title, okay. Grade 10, term 2, the 21st, 23rd, and the third week. March 2021. Your math teacher is Murad Sultan Zwidi, HSM. We start. You already know about the graphs or the graph of quadratic function or quadratic equation. In fact, is the function describing the height of the rocket. Is an example, for example, of a quadratic function. So the definition is that quadratic function can be, or quadratic equation can be written in the form of y equal a x squared, the term of x is a, or the coefficient of x squared is a, plus b x plus c, where a is different to 0, of course. If not, it will be a linear equation, okay? So this form of quadratic function or equation is called the standard form. Okay, it's called what? The standard form. Note that this polynomial has degree 2 and the exponent are positive, because here the exponent is 2, not negative 2, okay? The graph of quadratic function is called a parabola, okay? So the graph of this function, my learners, is called what? A parabola. We'll see when exactly your parabola it's open up or down, or it's a valley or a hill. So the key concept here is quadratic equation or quadratic function. Okay, a quadratic function can be described by an equation of the form of y or f of x equal ax squared plus bx plus c, where is different to 0, and the models, in fact. So this is the graph of this quadratic equation in general. This is if a is positive, if the x square term is positive, or if a is positive, so it will be the curve opens up, or it seems like to be a valley. If a is negative or the x square term is negative, so your curve would be or will opens down, okay, or it's called also a hill. Look, when a is positive, so it's a valley, okay, the curve will open up like that, and this point it's called the vertex, and this one is the axis of symmetry. We will figure it out after. And this point is called the minimum point, and this one, when let's say your curve is opening down, means is a hill. So this point is also the vertex of your curve, and this let's say line is called the axis of symmetry because it's let's say divide the curve or the parabola, divide the parabola into two symmetrical halves, okay? And this point has a maximum at this one, at the vertex, I mean, okay? Why? Simply because a is negative, okay? The next, here we have an example. So a graph opens upwards, okay? Graph opens upwards. This is one exactly when a is positive. So we use a table of values to a graph y equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. Graph these ordered pairs and connect them with smooth curve. When x equal, this is the columns of x, and this is the columns of y. In this example, we put the columns of x, the value of x, and you will try to find the value of y such that x equal negative 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is the coordinate plane is drawn there. So here you can see that. First of all, this is the function y equal to x squared. So the x squared term is 2, or the coefficient of x squared is 2, is positive. So your curve should, let's say, open upwards like that and has a minimum point, and negative 4x, negative 5. When x equal negative 2, it will be just substitute x squared by negative 2, and x by negative 2, it will be 2 times 2 square 8 plus 8 16 minus 5 gives 11. Then when x equal negative 2, it will be 2 multiplied between parentheses minus 1 square, and minus 4 multiplied by minus 1, it will be 6 minus 1 minus 5 gives 1. And when x equal 0, this means the y-intercept x equal 0, so the y equal immediately, automatically negative 5. When x equal 1, just substitute in this function x equal 1. So 2 multiplied by 1 squared will be 2, minus 4 by 1 is minus 4, 2 minus 4 minus 2, minus 5 minus 7. Okay, and so on. You can use calculator. This is a knowledge. You can do your own work and check the answers. Then HEMA learns, we can, let's say, plot these points. When x equal minus 2, this is x-axis, this is the y-axis. Okay, x equal minus 2, y equal 11, approximately here. Then when x equal minus 1, y equal what? 1, approximately here. Then when x equals 0, the y equal negative 5. This is negative 5 because the y-intercept where the curve cuts the y-axis, exactly, this is the y-intercept. And the x-intercept, in fact, when your curve cuts the x-axis, you can see here 2 points, 2 roots. So we see this. And when x equal 1, what is 1? This is 1, my learners. Okay, x equal 1, so it will be negative 7. This point is called the vertex or the turning point. Why the turning point? Because here you see the curve is going slow down, and at that point change direction. That's why it's called vertex or the turning point. After drawing this, after joining, connecting this point, you will got the parabola. Parabola that is opens upwards. Why? Because the coefficient 2 is positive. Clear? And you will mention here y equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. The next example, here we consider the standard form y equal ax squared plus bx plus c. Note that the value of a in example number 1 is positive and the curve opens upwards. That's why it's a valley, or let's say it has a minimum point. So the lowest point or minimum point of the graph is located at 1 negative 7, call it the vertex or the turning point. Now we move to the second case, when a is negative. Okay, when a is negative, graph opens down, or the graph seems like to be a hill. Here we have a table of values. Use the table of values to graph y equal negative x squared plus 4x minus 1. You can see that the coefficient of x squared, or the square of the square term, is negative 1, so your curve will be opens downwards. Okay, so the question, graph these ordered pairs and connect them with the smooth curve. We have x equal negative 1, x equals 0. This is x equals 0 means the y-intercept, x equal 1, 2, 3, and 4. And use your calculator. It's a knowledge. Just instead of writing x equal negative 1, instead of writing this equation, substitute x by negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You will get, of course, minus 1. I will just do this first and the second, and this one. So minus 1 will be minus, between parentheses minus 1 squared will be minus 1. Minus squared is 1, but there is a negative sign in front of it. Minus 1, minus 4, minus 1, it will be minus 6. So when x equals 0 is the y-intercept, so it will be minus 1, correct. Then when x equals 4, it will be minus 16, plus 16 gives minus 1, yes. When x equals 5 here, it will be minus 25, because minus 5 square is minus 25, plus 4 by 5 is 20, minus 25 plus 20 minus 1 gives negative 5, negative 6. Okay, now just connect this point graph these ordered pairs and connect them with a smooth curve. Means this is the ordered pair, minus 1 6. What is minus 1 6? This is 6, this is 0, sorry, then minus 1 6. Okay, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, then 0 it will be minus 1. This is minus 1. When x equal 1, y equal 2, x equal 1, y equal 2. This is the second point. When x equal 2, okay, the y equal 3. This one is the turning point or the maximum point. Okay, that is located at what? At we told 2 3. This is the turning point. This case, this round. Okay, it's maximum. Okay, and it's called the vertex. This one, only this one. So 3 it will be 3. It will be 2. 3 it will be 2, and so on. Then 4 minus 1 and 5 it will be minus 6, and then just connect the points to get this kind of graph, which is a hill or opens down. So then put an arrow or something like that to tell that this is the graph of your equation, which is parabola. Okay, but the coefficient is here is negative. Now note that the value of a in example 2, this is example, is negative, and the curve opens downwards. The highest point or the maximum, this is the highest point, is the turning point. Don't forget, this is the axis of symmetry, we'll see after. Okay, of the graph is located at 2 3, because this one 2 3. Then the maximum or minimum point of the parabola is called a vertex or turning point. Clear? I wish that is clear, my learners. Here we have the equation of axis of symmetry of a parabola. In words, we can say the equation of the axis of symmetry for the graph y equal ax squared plus bx plus c, where a positive different to 0 is x equal negative b divided by 2a. This is it's given. It's how can you find the axis of symmetry? But you can also find the axis of symmetry and the vertex at the same time using the method of computing the square, and it will be easy for you to distinguish between the axis of symmetry and the vertex or the turning point, which is sometimes minimum if the coefficient of x squared is positive, and maximum if the coefficient of x squared is negative. Okay, look here, this is the model, the graph, the parabola. It will be like that. This is the axis of symmetry in general gives by the formula negative b divided by 2a, and this point is called here minimum point, which is called the vertex y or the turning point, because the curve is going is sloping down, and at this point change direction. Clear? This is a valley, or the curve opens upwards, and it is a parabola. Okay, of a quadratic equation, of course. Now you can determine the information about a parabola from its equation. It's very easy. Example number 3, we will see vertex and axis of symmetry at the same time. Here we have consider the graph of y equal negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. Okay, so we can sketch, let's say, the graph. We can find the y-intercept, the x-intercepts, and the axis of symmetry and the vertex at the same time. Here, sub question A, write the equation of the axis of symmetry. Okay, in y or f of x equal negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. A here is negative 3, the x squared term, or it's called the coefficient of x squared. And b is negative 6. Why? Because the coefficient of x is negative 6, so we should write negative 6. And c here equal 4. So the equation of, let's say, the axis of symmetry is given by negative b divided by 2a. So x equal negative b divided by 2a. Equation for the axis of symmetry of a parabola given from or found from any equation. Here we x equal minus, this is minus, okay, b is negative here, minus 6, minus gives positive, divide by 2, multiply by a is negative, it will be 6 divided by minus 6 gives minus 1, okay, and between parentheses a is negative 3, and b is negative 6. Okay, so the equation of the axis of symmetry in fact is x equal negative 1. Clear? I thought just use the formula, and maybe we can see, or you already see in the classroom, how can you use the method of completing the square to guess or to find out, to figure out the axis of symmetry and the turning point, the vertex. Okay, it's very clear and very easy. Okay, now the question is find the coordinate of the vertex. Okay, mean the turning point. At this point you will find a minimum or maximum. Minimum, we told when the curve is opens upwards. Maximum when the curve is like that, is opens downwards. Okay, it has a maximum. So since the equation of axis of symmetry is x equal negative 1 and the vertex lies on the axis, the x coordinates for the vertex is negative 1. Just substitute x by negative 1 in your equation. You will get negative 3x squared minus 6 plus 4. This is the original standard equation. And y equal negative 3 between parentheses negative 1 squared, because the axis of symmetry is negative 1, minus 6 multiplied between parentheses, don't forget negative 1, plus 4. Okay, when x of course equal negative 1, then you just simplify, calculate. 3, it will be negative 3, this one minus 1 squared, it will be 1, minus 3 plus 6 plus 4, it will be 7. So the y-intercept is not the y-intercept. The turning point has a coordinates of negative 1 and the ordered pair negative 1 and 7. The vertex is at this point. As here, the coefficient of x squared or the x squared term is negative, so your curve will be like that. So it will be this point, it will be a maximum. Identify the vertex as a maximum or a minimum. Look here, since the coefficient of x squared term is negative, the parabola opens downwards and the vertex is a maximum point. Okay, here we sub question D, we have a question. You can, first of all, I will give you time to pause. I will make pause for 2 seconds, then I will start. Okay, so we turn it back. We try to this kind of type of a question. We will try to graph this function. Okay, you can use the symmetry of the parabola to help you draw its graph, because the axis of symmetry, in fact, we told divide the parabola into symmetrical halves, into 2 symmetrical halves. Okay, so we told that on a coordinate plane, graph the vertex and the axis of symmetry. Choose a value for x then other than minus 1. For example, choose 1 and find the y coordinate that satisfies the equation. Anyway, we will write y. Our equation is negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. This is, you can see this point in the vertex is the maximum point. Why? Because the curve is opening downwards, or is sloping upwards then going downwards. So this is a maximum, and this one is the axis of symmetry. Okay, you can see this is 2 units to the left, 2 to the right, means that these lines, for example BC, is divided into 2 equal lengths, 2 units. Okay, then we will try to graph first of all 1 negative 1, 1 negative 5. This is 0, this is 1, and this is negative 1 negative 5. Okay, this is 0, this is 1. So 1, the axis of symmetry we told it's minus 1, like that. The vertex we told that minus 1 7. Okay, then we told 1 minus 5, it will be, this is x equal 1 and this is negative 5. Of course, when x equal 1, y equal negative 5. When x equal 3, y equal negative 5. Then the point at 1 negative 5, the point at 1 negative 5 is 2 units to the right of the axis. So go 2 units to the left of the axis and plot the point negative 3 minus 5, because we have symmetric. X equal negative 1 is the axis of symmetry. Okay, repeat this for several other points, then sketch your parabola. Here we have a multiple choice, my learners. May this will be included in the final exam. Okay, So multiple choice, which is the graph of y plus 1 equal x plus 1 x plus 1 all squared. Here just rearrange your formula and make y as a subject. This is plus 1, make minus 1 here and minus 1 here. 1 minus 1, it will be cancelled out, then it will be x plus 1 squared minus 1. So the axis of symmetry is x equal minus 1. Effectively x equal minus 1. This is the axis of symmetry. We have also x equal negative 1. Okay, this is x equal 1, this is x equal 1. So this one and this one, you will cancel or cross them out. They didn't, let's say, match our equation. We'll discuss that and this, C and D. For example, I will do this. X equal minus 1 is the axis of symmetry, but the vertex is what? At each point exactly at negative 1, negative 1. Okay, negative 1, negative 1. Okay, and here you can see that this is the curve will open downwards. Why? Because here in this curve the coefficient, the x squared term, is negative, but here the x squared is positive, so it will be this question, minus 1 minus 1. This is the correct answer. Clear? Okay, now here, which graph? We have an exercise which is the graph of y equal negative 1 over 2x squared plus 1. Okay, first of all, what do you think about the x squared coefficient? The x squared term is negative, so your curve should be like that. Okay, means opens downwards, or it's a heel. Okay, then plus 1. So this is the vertex, it will be 0, 1. Okay, it's very clear. The axis of symmetry is 0. So this one will cancel this one because the coefficient of here is positive, should be positive, but here is negative. Also we cancel this one, C, because the coefficient is positive and the graph is opens upwards, means is a valley, it has a minimum point. So these two graphs didn't match our equation. We move to this one. Okay, when x equals 0, this is axis of symmetry, x equals 0, axis of symmetry. C, axis of symmetry, x equals 0. So this one, in fact, x equals 0, and this one, x equals 0. Now move to the vertex. We'll check the vertex. This is has a maximum at the point 0, 1. Okay, at a point 0, 1, and this is has a maximum or vertex turning point at 0, negative 1. Okay, so this one doesn't match our questions, our equation. So B is the correct answer. Okay, B is the correct answer. Why? This is x equals 0 with the axis of symmetry. When x equals 0, y equal 1, or when x equals 0, y equal 1, and at this point it's called the vertex, or when the curve change direction, or it has a maximum. Okay, so this one, the correct answer, matched B here. Okay, thank you for listening, my learners. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening, my learners. Okay, see you inshallah next time. Okay.